MDfashionco podcast, truth seeking. Let me know what you think of this. Animal Farm and AGI. So I recently rewatched Animal Farm, the 1954, I think, film. And it is very interesting how when utopia happens, right? So everyone gets their freedom back, how it turns back into enslavement and all that. I think this is very relevant for what's going to happen with AGI because people like Elon Musk are saying, oh, work is over. So everyone's going to be on universal basic income, right? Which gives a lot of power to governments. Okay. So it seems like the beginning of Animal Farm, right? But the thing is, the pigs in Animal Farm are so much smarter than all the other animals. So some pigs did it for the good of humanity, say Elon Musk. Some did it for the bad, like Napoleon, right? So Napoleon used that change of power as a way to grab power and drive out the good, smart pigs that were there to help humanity, aka all the animals, right? And the bad pig came in and just enslaved everyone. Now, where this is different than Animal Farm is that in Animal Farm, they use labor. So that horse did a lot more work, right, than everyone else because we all have different skills, right? And we're compensated differently in capitalism. But in that system, pretty much the people who are stronger work harder, and then just when their use is used up, they're gone. So how this changes in the post AGI world, right? Humanoid robots and everything, then labor is detached from humans. So humans don't do labor, right? But so then how would Napoleon act in a post AGI world? So Napoleon would get into power and everyone else would have universal basic income, and Napoleon would take the gold, Napoleon would take the land. How does that work? This is really interesting because I know there's an instinct to think that Animal Farm is no longer relevant, right? Animal Farm's no longer relevant in post AGI. We've solved it, right? That's a whole that's an old idea, right? That's just humans being stupid, like tribalistic stuff. But I believe history repeats, and I think there's an opportunity here for Napoleon, a Napoleon from Animal Farm-esque figure to just take some more power. What do you guys think of this? This is really interesting to me. So, yeah, so when the robots come in and when everyone's on AGI, there will be people who want to make the world better, like snowball and be like, okay, people don't have to work that much. We're going to improve everyone's quality of life. And then there will be people like Napoleon who will say, okay, everyone is dependent on the government now, right? So everyone's dependent on the government. They have no option, right? They have to use the universal basic income to get food, get shelter, and everything. So how can I use that to grab more power, to enrich myself? I think there's a big danger here of that. So yeah, I think 1984 and Animal Farm was just a genius books, and he pretty much called it. And how do we see this going? How do we see history repeating itself post AGI? That is the question here. And I would very much like to hear some intellectual people tell me their opinion in the comments. Thank you, guys. What do you think about that?